If you have any kind of mobility impairment, sitting on the floor and reaching your leg out straight might not be a thing that works for your body. So I've got a different type of stretch that you can do that can kind of do the same thing and potentially feel better. So what you'll do is you'll sit on the very edge of your chair, like I'm doing. You're going to stretch your leg out. And let me just point out something. You're going to want to have the top of your foot kind of flexing towards your shin. What that does is it pulls the calf tight, and the calf and the hamstring kind of tie in together. So when we pull the calf tight, we're able to stretch the hamstring a little bit better. So just kind of be aware of that. You can have a regular neutral foot, but really see if you can kind of pull that the top of the foot towards the shin. Then what we're going to do here is we're going to get a nice big chest. We're going to inhale, and then exhale. You're going to walk your hands down your leg without letting your chest collapse. So we're keeping our body very upright. We're keeping our back nice and flat, and just finding a place where you can get a nice stretch. Remember, it's not about how far you go. It's just, are we feeling it right here in the back of the hamstring? And is that working for our body? So we shouldn't feel any pain, not above a 2 out of 10 during this stretch. So we're not stretching into pain. If you have a back injury, and some discomfort is going to be just go with the territory, but 2 out of 10 is generally what we want. So basically you're going to hold this for time, and when you're ready, just walk your hands back up and switch sides. Same thing. Now you get to try this one. Here's another version of a stretch you can do while you're seated. And you'll want to make sure that you're in a chair that doesn't scoot back so that you're in a nice secure position. You're going to inhale and expand your chest, get a nice tall back, and then you are going to start to fold over your legs. You're just going to kind of support. You're going to constantly monitor and make sure that you are not collapsing. Because I could get my head a lot closer to my shins, but that's not the point. The point is to stretch here and not worry about where your head and your shins are. Speaking of shins, don't forget to pull your tops of your feet up towards your shins. You can have a little bit of bend in your knee if you like. Sometimes backs are really tight and we need to have a little bit of bend, but see how straight you can get them without going past a 2 out of 10 pain. Once you've held this stretch for time, you just walk back up and you are done. For this hamstring stretch, you are going to take the bottom of your foot and you're going to put it on the inside of your opposite leg. And then what you're going to do is just get nice and tall, big chest, flat back, and you are going to reach up and then take a bind on your leg somewhere. You can even use a strap, which I have one right here. So if you have a strap or a belt, just take it around that leg and see how much easier it is for me to stay up nice and tall, and then I can just kind of pull myself forward. But whether or not you have a strap, and I'm just going to show you without the strap, you are just kind of pulling yourself down. You're going to keep your chest big, you're going to keep your shoulders back, and we want to feel it down the back of this leg that's extended. The big thing to think about with hamstring stretches, all hamstring stretches, is people try to think about putting their head to their shin, and that's not really going to get you the best stretch. So sometimes, some ways to cheat, I'm going to show you. You can point your toe, and that gets you a little bit further than having a flexed foot. So here's as far as I can go with a flexed foot. Now if I point my toe, I can go a lot further. So we don't want that, because I want you to have a nice taut hamstring. So it's about feeling it back there. Another thing that people do is they start to collapse. So they start to round the upper back and make the upper back do some of the work. And that can place our upper back into an uncomfortable position, place our lower back into a place where it rounds too, and cause all kinds of problems, especially if you have a back injury or osteoporosis. So avoid rounding your upper back and avoid flexing your toe, pointing your toe. Here's a version of a hamstring stretch with 2 legs. So just like the one with the single leg, you're just sitting nice and tall as possible, chest out, shoulders back. I like to take a big breath up and then kind of reach, pull my shoulders back, inhale, take a big chest here, and basically like pull myself into it. You can also use a strap for this stretch. All right, so for our strap, we are going to just capture the feet, sit up nice and tall, and see if you can use your arms to pull yourself forward into it. I'm going to show you a standing hamstring stretch that you can do. Basically what you're doing is you're taking 1 foot forward and 1 foot back. I like to actually come up on this back toe, and I'm going to be really picky, so bear with me. So the back heel is going to come up, and you're going to make sure this toe's not turning out. So you're kind of squaring the hips up to face forward so that everything stays in line. The next thing that you're going to do is just put your hands on your hips, and you are just going to inhale, take a big breath, expand your chest, and then exhale. Keep that big chest, and you're just hinging at your hips until you feel a stretch in the back of this front leg. So once you feel that stretch there, and you don't have to go really far, what we want to avoid doing is we want to avoid letting our upper back do the work. See, I can technically bend a little bit more forward here, but am I really getting the stretch? No. And my back is actually in a position where it's not as safe. So keeping the big chest, keeping a nice flat back, finding that stretch in that leg. Once you hold it there for a little while, you can actually maybe even go a little bit further. But listen to your body and see what it says, see what it's telling you to do. The whole time you're going to brace your abs and just keep your abdominals really solid. That's going to support your back while you do this. So if you have any kind of back injury or back pain that you're working through, that's going to allow you to do that stretch and not hurt yourself. So now you get to try it.